Magnum packing patriots, can you dig it? Congratulations, you're watching the Tap Rack Bang Show. I'm your host, Ryan Frasor, riding shotgun. With me, as always, is the tactical tackle himself, Tyler Witzke. Tyler, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, how are you?
I'm balling out of control, you know me. As always, we invite all of the Magnum packing patriots tuning in to be a pro-gun bully today. This week, if you want to tie Joe Biden's shoelaces together before he gets up to give his book report, causing him to fall in front of all his classmates, go ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget also to subscribe and smash that Liberty bell to ring the alarm of freedom every time a Tap Rack Bang Show drops.
Yeah, don't forget to visit the links down in the description. We're still giving these away.
Yep.
Get yourself one. Cost you nothing.
Free 99,
Yep.
as you'd say.
Yep.
A buck free 80.
Yep. Become a frontline defender today. Defend the Second Amendment at all costs.
Do it.
Visit our foundation, who helps out with Supreme Court cases, defending gun owners in the court, and whatnot. And so with that, let's get started.
Let's get started with T-shirt time.
It's T-shirt time!
Last week, we asked people to name a Republican in the U.S. Senate who introduced red flag gun confiscation, and Bushcraft Joe was the winner of T-shirt time, saying Marco Rubio, little Marco, Florida man, introduced red flag gun confiscation. Of course, he's not the only Republican senator to dip his wick in the bowl of red flag. You also got Lindsey Graham, who's just a full-on champion of red flag, and Rick Scott, another Florida man, also is all about the gun confiscation. So make no mistake about it, it's not just the Democrats who are spouting this shit in the swamp.
Yeah.
This week, if you want to win your dope-ass National Association for Gun Rights t-shirt, we'll stick with red flag, and I want to know what's the first state to pass a red flag gun confiscation law. If you think you know the answer without Googling it, comment below in the YouTube comments. First person to get it right wins a dope-ass NAGR t-shirt.
Sweet.
All right. Well, let's move it along. It's Halloween today. This is the Halloween show here on Tap Rack Bang. I'm not dressed up or nothing, but did you do anything for Halloween?
I didn't do a whole lot, but what about you? You do anything?
I saw a film the other day. As I recall, it was a horror film.
Last week, I saw a film. As I recall, it was a horror film.
It was the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. I thought that would be a great thing to watch for Halloween. You like them?
Still making those?
They're still making them, but, I know they can be a bit predictable, but I think the 2021 Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie may have a few curveballs that the viewers aren't expecting, and we actually have an exclusive clip of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2021 that we're going to share with you good folks today. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Check it out.
What in the world?
Oh my God, Hannah! There's a chainsaw, he's gonna do it!
We're in Texas. We have constitutional carry.
Hannah, you're gonna kill us! You got a chainsaw! Oh my God! Oh my God, Hannah, you're gonna kill us!
You up for lunch?
Wow. I didn't see that coming.
No, that was actually a great ending.
Yeah, I guess after constitutional carry, the whole Texas Chainsaw thing doesn't really work anymore, so I guess that's a wrap for that franchise.
Yeah, no kidding.
Just tough break Leatherface, but at any rate, so on Wednesday, we've been talking about red flag, and there just so happened to be a House Judiciary Committee markup hearing on a disgusting, evil, draconian red flag bill, and we watched that whole hearing so you didn't have to, and there were definitely some wacko gun grabbers who were shooting blanks, but there are also a few magnum packing patriots who were defending your rights within that committee, and we clipped a few of our favorite parts, so stay tuned.
I'm a native Texan, and like a lot of native Texans, I have a gun. I still have a gun. But I grew up on a farm, and my family taught me how to use it. They taught me how to respect it. And mine was never a handgun or an automatic weapon that shoots people.
Yeah, we got to pause right there. I think that's kind of the quintessential FUD line. You know, I grew up hunting and stuff, but to imply that her gun wasn't one that was meant to shoot people, she goes on to talk about owning a 22. I'd like to see the statistics of how many people over the years have been shot by 22s. And
yeah. And just to prove her ignorance, I think she meant to say semi-automatic weapons, but honestly, I don't think she could tell the difference between semi-automatic and fully automatic weapons. So,
yeah.
Truly.
Yeah, but she gets to decide for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Carry on.
Mine was always a 22 rifle or a 410 shotgun, and that was meant for
Pause. So, I don't know why this came to my mind, but when I think of her talking about her 22 and her 410 shotgun, it sounds like the most depressing childhood of a gun owner ever, and it kind of reminds me of Kickin' Wing from Joe Dirt, who only likes snakes and sparklers. Snakes and sparklers is 22s and 410s is the snakes and sparklers of the firearms world. I think.
Have a little variety in there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, this gal seems like she's never had fun in her life.
You need some more bang in the little collection there. And
what is she hunting? Squirrels and rattlesnakes?
Yeah, like...
You live in Texas, gal. There's all kinds of cool stuff to hunt.
Keep rolling.
Yeah.
many times. And it was meant to put food on the table because we were poor. If we went out there and didn't hunt and kill something, then we ain't gonna eat that night. So that's how
Bobby
about
Boucher's
guns.
mom
It
serving
was
squirrel for dessert.
Sometimes sport, but a lot of times about putting food on the table. It was never meant to be, my dear friend, Ms. Macbeth, to kill people, to shoot people. In fact, I don't know how to use a handgun. I'm a terrible shot with a handgun. But I'm pretty good with a .22 rifle. Close to being in any Oakley, I would even say.
I'm pretty sure Annie Oakley knew how to shoot a pistol.
She did.
I don't know what kind of shooting this old gal's been doing, but I definitely don't think she has any kind of understanding about the Second Amendment, thinking that it's for squirrel hunting, but...
Just for hunting in general. That's not the reason why the Second Amendment was written.
Well, luckily we don't have to sit here and listen to Saliva Garcia butcher her own stupid interpretations of the Second Amendment. We have a bona fide magnum packing patriot, Chip Roy, also from Texas, who actually knows what the hell he's talking about here. So let's hear what Chip Roy has to say.
As a gentle lady on the other side of the aisle knows, I too live in Texas. Raised my son, daughter to respect firearms. We shoot them frequently on our property.
Good man.
We shoot semi-automatic weapons on my property.
Hell yeah.
Teach my children how to use them safely.
Mm.
I teach them what they're used for, why we have the ability to have firearms. And yes, we use it for hunting. My son shot his first deer.
The gentleman yield for a question?
Briefly.
Yeah, very question. What do you use semi-automatic weapons for?
I use semi-automatic weapons to kill hogs. I use semi-automatic weapons
Hell yeah.
for sport and shooting on our property, but I also have semi-automatic weapons, and I'm getting to the point.
Thank you.
Because a semi-automatic weapon is a weapon that you can use for self-defense. It is a semi-automatic weapon that you can use to defend yourself against home invaders, but also, let's be clear, against tyranny.
Preach it!
Finally, we have someone in D.C. that actually gets it.
Yep.
You know? The Second Amendment was written to protect against tyranny.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, Chip Roy understands that. So, I think we just gotta commend him a little bit here.
Yeah. I think that's a bona fide magnum packing patriot testimonial he's given there. And, you know, Jerry the Nads Nadler was getting all smug trying, what do you need a semi-automatic for? But Chip Roy handled it like a boss and laid it all out. He gave a whole list of things you need a semi-automatic for, and he crushed it.
All right. Let's keep rolling.
In the context of hunting, as if My right
Yeah,
shall
as
reduce
if.
the Constitution to a 410 or a single shot or
Snakes and
lever
sparklers.
action 22. As if that was what was expressly put forth as how we're supposed to be defending ourselves.
Yield again?
So definite magnum packing comments from Chip Roy, and totally shooting blanks was Jerry the Nads Nadler. But another magnum packing patriot there in the House Judiciary Committee, we got Representative Victoria Spartz from Indiana, and I just kind of want to shut the hell up and listen to this. If you don't know Representative Spartz, she comes from Ukraine and knows a little thing or two about government tyranny, so I think we could all benefit from just listening to what she has to say about gun confiscation and the tyrannical agenda of the anti-gun left.
Individuals didn't have rights. Law-abiding individuals didn't have rights and didn't have rights to own guns. And that is actually the first thing that totalitarian country under Stalin did, to take people from law-abiding citizens to guns. So only two groups of people had guns. It was the police and bandits. And the Soviet government used police, and if they couldn't to suppress people, then they used bandits on people. And that is what suppression is. So this right empowers as an individual, and it's a very important right. And this is a very important discussion to have. If we talk about, red flag laws, Indiana had them since 2005, and I'm not going to point out how bad provisions of this law I think my colleagues did. We put with due processes, with proper processes, the laws, not really overreaching as this bill, not really federalizing. But unfortunately, it would be that easy. We could prevent, crimes, but laws do not prevent crimes. We had, school shootings. We had just recently at FedEx facility shootings. So it's not going to stop, unfortunately, bad people that are going to try to do bad things. But if we're going to have a legitimate cases, we're going to help people, we have to respect constitutional right, and this bill doesn't do it. But talking about violence, if we're going to talk about violence, Indianapolis has some of the highest crime rates in the country. So definitely doesn't have with violence. But if we're going to talk about violence and anarchy, why don't we talk about what's happening in our border? Drug trafficking, human trafficking, and lawlessness and anarchy on this border, which increases violence in a lot of cities. Why are we talking about not defunding the police and vaccine mandates on policemen that a lot of people now live in the police force? That is increased violence in these cities. Why are we talking about only a third of our children and can read and write by grade 10, and a lot of cities and urban communities, only tens of children can do that. That has created a lot of problems and violence. Why don't we talk about issues that really create violence and why we have this increase in violence, not trying to take rights from law-abiding citizens and suppress? Because unfortunately, our government, now FBI using warrantless surveillance, Department of Justice intimidate parents at school board meetings. We have IRS going to be collected information on people. We're becoming like a surveillance state, like a totalitarian regime. And that breaks my heart to see that. So I think we need to have a serious discussion about what we can do to reduce violence. And a lot of them actually happen in the Democrat-run cities, but we need to help them. And I represent one of the cities. I want to be helpful, but let's have serious discussion and protect rights, constitutional rights of individuals, and write these laws that they don't infringe on our rights, because this is the only difference between our country and any other country in the world. That's why people want to come here. We're the greatest country in the world because people have the most freedom protected by our Constitution. And the only function we legislators have, that people gave us right to be here, to protect their rights to life, liberty, and property. That is the only reason. People gave us the right to be here. And we have to think, how do we protect their rights? Don't infringe on their constitutional rights. And it's extremely important discussion to have. But unfortunately, we cannot have this discussion right now because no one wants to have a serious discussion. We have a lot of drama, but this is a pure infringement. And the way how this bill is written, it's infringement on people's rights. And we cannot be the government of suppression. We have to be the government of liberties and freedoms. And I hope my colleagues can work on some of this issue, how we can make sure that our future generation can experience this great country as our previous generations. And I yield back. Yeah.
I personally want to commend her for that.
I got chills.
Awesome rant. Yeah.
Damn.
Same. And she brought up that, you know, it looks like that the government right now is focusing on targeting arguably the most law-abiding demographic we have, which is gun owners.
Oh, shit.
When we have more pertinent issues going on in the country right now. So,
I think it's ridiculous, but I mean, I guess I get it that someone who wasn't born in the United States clearly gets our Constitution and what it means to be an American more than Jerry Nadler and all these whack jobs, Sheila Jackson Lees, who are also in this committee shitting all over the Constitution and the Second Amendment. Friggin' Representative Spartz, who wasn't born in America, just summed it all up right there. Like, that's why we just wanted to shut up and let her talk. And
100%.
Yeah, definite magnum packin' patriot award for Representative Spartz just there. That was badass. That's got me fired up.
Yep.
And hell yeah, I think more people need to hear that and understand that that's what America is about. It's about individual liberties. It's not about a bunch of jabronis in Washington thinking they know what's best for you and what you're allowed to own and sending their goon squad out to confiscate your property.
Right.
Yeah.
Couldn't have said it better.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, if there's two countries in Europe that you want to listen to when it comes to dictators and tyrants, it's probably Poland and Ukraine. And, you know, she's seen it firsthand what a tyrannical government can do. And that's why she's clearly so passionate about preventing that from happening here in the United States. And I commend her for having such a great understanding and fighting for it. So, yeah, magnum packing patriot, tip of the hat. And that just about does it for our show today.
Yeah. So don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. You know, hit that Liberty Bell so you're notified whenever a new podcast drops. Don't forget to go to the links in the description. You know, get that free sticker I showed you earlier. Become a Frontline Defender. Help out our foundation. You know, support the show. Anything helps. So thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, next time we should have some range footage. So you want to tune in for that?
You bet.
See ya.